Yep.
Hey everyone, and welcome to On the Beat. I'm David Wilson, as always joined by Stephen Bailey and Trevor Haas. Syracuse heads down to Tallahassee on Saturday to take on the number 2 team in the nation, Florida State. I'll be down there. These two will be covering the basketball game on Saturday. But the big news, late Wednesday night, TMZ reported that Jameis Winston, being accused of sexual assault, involved in an investigation. Obviously, Florida State probably still the better team than Syracuse without him, and it seems like he will play, but that has to have a huge effect on the game if he's not able to go.
Yeah, well, Florida State did put out a release saying that his status was unchanged. I believe that was as of Thursday. But if he doesn't play, that's a huge change. There's a reason Florida State is 38.5-point favorites. He's a big part of that. He's the Heisman Trophy favorite, arguably. With that, probably the best quarterback in the nation. So, yeah, if he doesn't play, that changes the complexity of the game. But you look at Florida State, and again, there's a reason why they're that much bigger favorites than Syracuse, because they're that much better. And it's throughout every position.
Yeah, like you said, they have a lot of weapons on both sides of the ball. I mean, Jameis is by far their best player. He's one of the best players in the country, if not the best. But without him, they're still very good.
Yeah, Jameis Winston not even eligible for the draft this year, but they still have 2 or 3 guys in the mix to be first-round picks. Cameron Irving on the offensive line, Timmy Jernigan on the defensive line. LaMarcus Joyner anchors that secondary for them. And this defense forced 6 turnovers last week against Wake Forest, had defensive touchdowns on back-to-back plays from scrimmage. As good as Jameis Winston and this offense are, the defense might actually be the strength of this Florida State team.
Yeah, it's tough because the Syracuse defense has been the backbone of its team this year, but it's really going to need the offense to score to really have any kind of chance at beating Florida State or even hanging with Florida State. And you look at Terrell Hunt, he hasn't thrown a touchdown since the Tulane game. The running game has gotten going. Jerome Smith has been good. George Morris has been good. And that Florida State defense, I don't see Syracuse scoring on it very easily.
Yeah, I mean, I think the Florida State defense is constantly on the field also because their offense just goes so fast at such a rapid pace that the defense is just on the bench and then all of a sudden they're back. So they're used to playing a lot of reps, and I think they'll be comfortable with Syracuse's attack.
All right, let's get some over-unders. Over-under 500 yards for the Florida State offense.
Over. Maybe by halftime.
Over.
Yeah, definitely over, I think. Over-under 2.5 interceptions for Terrell Hunt.
I'll go under.
Under.
Yeah, I think under. And on that sort of note, over-under 10.5 punts for Syracuse.
I'm going to go over. A lot of 3-and-outs.
I'm going to go under.
I think under. They have to go for it on 4th down eventually.
Yep.
Last but not least, let's get our predictions in here.
56-10, Florida State. Just not a lot Syracuse can do.
52-7, Florida State. I think Syracuse will score. They're good enough to get in the end zone against Florida State, but it shouldn't be too close in reality.
Yeah, I think something like 52-13. Wake Forest got embarrassed by Florida State, but Syracuse was better than Wake Forest, so they'll get embarrassed by slightly less against Florida State. That's it for today. Be sure to check out dailyorange.com/sports all weekend long. We'll have constant coverage from Tallahassee, and be sure to follow us on Twitter @DOSports.